According to Business Insider's writer Caroline Cakebread, in 2017 wrote that 1.2 trillion photos were taken in the year 2017. This would not be possible without the evolution of camera technology. The progression of photography is heavily influenced by the evolution of camera models. Photography has changed in both technology and technique since 1888 and has become more accessible and easy to capture precious memories or master the art of photography. First, I will talk about the original fully functioning camera. According to Thomas Dodson's Timeline for Harvard Library, in 2018, Kodak was the first commercially available camera in 1888. It was also the first handheld and portable camera that allowed average Americans to capture their families, homes, surroundings, and everyday lives, according to Eastman Kodak Company in 2018. Prior to the Kodak, they were obligated to hire a professional portrait photographer that limited to them to only portrait photography. The Kodak also created the snapshot era, or do-it-yourself photography. In the article for the Met Museum, Mia Feynman in 2004 stated that in 1888, the Kodak slogan was, "You press a button, we do the rest." And they quite literally did the rest through sending the computer back to the company to get the photos developed and refilled with fresh film. To get a physical copy of the photos taken, the best way to do this in the 20th century was through a darkroom, according to Osterman's book, The History and Evolution of Photography in 2007. Each roll of film had 100 prints, and the darkroom needed to be 75 to 80 degrees and completely black so you don't have any light leaks in your photograph. There were wet and dry workspaces, allowing you to work with the negatives to create the photo you need. The final result was 2.5 inches photos on cardboard. For decades, film photography was the only thing we had until the emergence of the digital era. Since 1888, models evolved from film to DSLR, or digital cameras. According to Canon in 2008, this allowed us to have more control over the outcome of our photos. Digital cameras had manual options that allowed us to control both ISO settings, aperture settings, and among other settings. Each body was encompassed with image stabilizers, so when you took a photo, it didn't allow you to shake, and also had available more artistic options, such as the double exposure and long exposure. Post-processing was also done by computer software, so editing was done through Adobe Lightroom and Photoshop. There are also computer printings at your local Walgreens and or at home printers. There's also a variety in final products, whether it was just your typical 4x6 print or metal printing. Now that you know more about modern digital photography, let's talk about the newest trend in photo taking. Groundbreaking technology put art in every smartphone. Smartphones made photography more accessible than ever because they were pocket-sized, meaning that they went with you everywhere, so you can take photos of anyone, anything, at any time. Smartphones also allowed you to take a burst of photos in a matter of seconds. Smartphones also are equipped with editing tools that allow you to adjust exposures and contrast of the photos. Smartphones also simplified post-processing and printing through online printing labs and or apps such as Artifact Uprising. They also allowed for instant printers to be set up, such as the Sprocket. And in summary, photography has come a long way since 1888. From box mirrors to high definition digital photography to a convenient device that allowed you to take snapshots. The progression of photography allowed anyone to be a photographer. Understanding the history of camera models and the techniques and technology that influenced it showed how people took photos throughout the years. I hope by revealing to you the progression of photography, we can appreciate how accessible photography has become.